you cannot talk music with somebody that doesn't understand music, but they can feel if it sounds good or not. So the feeling it's very important.
We kunnen niet aan Pirates of the Caribbean denken zonder gelijk de klanken van Hans Zimmer te horen. Zelfs de mensen die Super Mario nooit hebben gespeeld, kennen het bekende deuntje. En in de hitserie Stranger Things zou je de muziek zelfs als één van de personages kunnen beschouwen. Dit is allemaal mediamuziek. Ook in Nederland zijn er mediacomponisten die op hoog niveau muziek maken voor films, series, games en reclames. Van Netflix-serie tot Nederlandse hitfilm. En daarom zetten we hen graag in de spotlight met de Music and Media Awards. Zoals componist Federico Solazzo. Hij is de winnaar van de MIMA Sync Reclame met zijn muziek voor Heineken, voor God Beers, Clair de la Lune. Mijn naam is Amber Roner en dit is Buma Music in Motion Behind the Track. Federico, welcome.
Thank you.
Yeah, we switched to English, Dutch a little bit in between.
Yeah.
I'm so happy to see you again and congratulations again on your winning the MIMA.
Yeah, thank you. Yeah.
Yeah, how did you enjoy the evening of the award show?
Yeah, it's always there is a lovely vibe because it's being among friends and colleagues. So it's exciting but also cozy at the same time. Yeah.
Were you surprised?
Yeah. It's always you it's like it's difficult to put a number on art. So it's not like measuring apples with apples. It's like whatever. It's like so. It's always a surprise, but it was a nice surprise.
You created the music for the global campaign.
Mm-hmm.
How did you get involved with the company, with Heineken, that you got to do the music for this?
Yeah, so I'm working with Caesar, the music agency, since I think 2018 or 2017, so it's been a while. And Mace, one of the music producers, so he contacted me, and he told me about this. It's like, and usually at the beginning it's super fast paced. So I remember that basically 90% of what you hear has been done in one evening. So
Really?
yeah. It's like because I was working on other jobs. I remember back then, so I was like, okay, I can fit this in here. And then the most important part is to give the impression of the production sound, and to just try to get to a good 90% and to deliver, because then the revision starts and stuff. So and then sometimes it's radio silence for a while because they are pitching different directions. So probably Clair de Lune was one of the direction, and this is of course. For who is listening, this is a Debussy piece. It's a famous piece, but it was an arrangement. So when we are talking about sync, it's a known piece or already out there piece, basically. But we did a special version crafted for this, and So.
Was it your own idea, or was it something in the brief?
No, it was in the brief. Yeah,
it was in the brief. Let's dive a little bit before we dive a little bit more into the working together with the music agency and how did you make the arrangements. Can you explain what else was in the brief? What was the storyline of the commercial?
Yeah, I think the commercial is a brilliant commercial, and the creative agency is Le Pub. So Publicis, it's a huge company. They have one of the biggest brands, and they're working with Caesar for the music part. At least they work for this advert, the the commercial is the tagline at the end is like basically that the beer is not the important part. And I really like that. So in the whole video, you just see like a lonely beer. This is why it's called Forgotten Beers. That is there on the table, and there are people in the background doing different stuff, like playing, how do you call it? The football,
Yeah, the
soccer, like
football, the table
the table. Yeah, yeah.
table
Thank you.
soccer, yeah.
And or like somebody kissing, or somebody like watching a football match or other stuff. So, I I I I think that that was very clever from the brand, and uh, the importance of music, especially in such a short amount of time, because in advertisement you have uh, 30 seconds for the TV version. This was, I think, 45 or 54, whatever the long version, and is to grab them in the first seconds and to give the right mood and to create a kind of a connection that um, it will resonate immediately with the listener,
Yeah.
and it will grab the attention at the same time. It's like you're taking their hand basically and say like, yeah, come listen, and take a seat basically. And this is why again it's, I think, so important the quality of the production also, because you have to grab them in the first 3-4 seconds, and that's if it doesn't sound good, then you don't have them, you know. And then the idea it was to give a timeless kind of sound, and this is why the piece is such a famous piece, and it's kind of like melancholic,
Yeah.
and but again it's that thin line between, imagine when you're working with a global campaign, what is sad for us in Europe is not sad for US sometimes.
Yeah,
I mean, yeah, Western, yes, but I mean for Asia, for example, it's a different kind of
yeah.
sadness. So what is melancholic for us cannot be. So it's the job of the composer or the arranger, in my case here, is really to navigate on that thin line and to say like, okay, it's like how much do we have to push, and how much do we have to pull, and what is the right tone. And so it's a bit like playing with being very careful when you're cooking at what spices are you using. Basically it's like okay, is it too salty here, is this a bit too much of this? So this is a bit what you're doing.
Yeah, and that all within like 45, 50 seconds.
Yeah.
And well, to be honest, Debussy, it's like a big composer
Yeah,
from like a long time ago. Ooh, that sounds also a little bit scary, maybe.
Yeah,
How
yeah.
how did you approach the arrangements?
It is scary also because you taking out all the commercial side. I really love music, and I love that piece. So I want to do it first of all for myself. If I'm not happy with myself, this cannot work with somebody else probably. Like this won't translate, to so the important bit is to find something that I like first. And I just did natural pass, like without click. So I just played the piano as it was, knowing that I had to land in that specific moment for the like halfway through the commercial to the, let's call it chorus, the ba 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 da da da, that part. And so basically I just pressed rec and did a few passes, only piano. And uh, um, and then once I was happy, I put a tempo map, what we call, so to just help to snap things around, basically, for what is coming afterwards, actually, because otherwise the tempo map would not be needed. And then I went with a warm but like nostalgic kind of color. So I mean, orchestra is also
Did you
it's also
already
something
had the
that.
images at that point? Was there already like a film?
Yeah. We already had images, because keep in mind that they are probably cutting stuff for already 2-3 months at this stage, and music is really coming at the end, and then they are doing testing. So it means that uh, yes, somehow I think it's, sorry, I am opening a lot of parentheses, but they they at the end of the food chain, let's say the creative agency, they and the final client, they think we are making music like out of magic, or we
Yeah.
are just dropping some loops.
Please
And
emphasize it one more time. Why is it important to include the composer at the starting of your project?
yeah,
Please
exactly.
emphasize it. Why is that?
Yeah, it is. It is important because then we can better help them, I think. But yeah, it is. I also like, to be honest, the fast pace, because I see myself as a sprinter,
Mm.
and I like to think about this approach that is like, when you driving like a hybrid car, it's called pulse and glide. So it's
Okay.
like and what I do is pretty much like, hey, we need it for yesterday, and then radio silence for a few days, and after, and it's okay. It's normal. It's I When I started, I couldn't understand this. I was a bit frustrated, honestly. But now, after a few years, of course, I understand what is on the other side, what is happening,
Mm.
and so I know that it's okay and it's fine. And also, I'm joking with some friends that sometimes, like what we do, especially with commercial, there is such a high stake. I mean, this is like one of the biggest brands, like Heineken and stuff like that. They might end up not using your music, and of course, you're getting paid still for the production. And so I was joking that I should put in my business card like carefully crafted music for the trash. And I did a master class about that actually 3 years ago, because and it's okay. You have to accept also this, that
Mm.
it's like expensive disposable music,
Mm-hmm.
but it's necessary because it's part of a process,
Yeah.
and it's a bigger than my music process, so
Yeah.
it's like I'm just one tile of the whole puzzle basically.
Mm.
So
Yeah.
but as I was saying, they think that music is coming like magic, probably like dropping one track, but we're actually doing the track from scratch. So it takes energy and focus. And what I what I like about this is like I in between projects, I always work on optimizing my workflow,
Mm.
because I know that there is no time to, when a job is coming, there is really no time to optimize sounds and to, so I really have to have it all ready. So it's like
Yeah.
I cannot go um, like, let's say that you are again a chef in the restaurant, and somebody is coming in the evening. It's like you cannot say to them like, okay, uh, pick a table and I'm gonna do the grocery now, and then I start. You have to be ready with your ingredients, and you have to know what you cannot do. This is also very important. So once a brief is coming in, if you don't think that is a good fit for you, like either you say yes, and then you know that you might break your neck if you don't do it. That's also an approach that sometimes you can take, but also like send it to a friend
Yeah.
that you think that it would be a good fit,
That's
because this is also being a fast-paced kind of business environment. You don't want to give them something that you're not happy to have produced.
yeah.
So yeah.
Yeah. I want to dive a little bit more into you, your music and how you are going to arrange, because you have a lot of experience by
Hmm.
now. So when composing or rearranging a song which is already there, how do you maintain? Hoe zorg je ervoor? How do you make sure that it's not that it feels the same, but it's also a little bit different? What do you use for that? Is it like with different instruments, or how do you approach that?
So the easy thing, I think, thing for us is because they when they are once they are cutting, they have a reference, so they have something that they would maybe they are maybe listening with for like the last 2 months, but they cannot use because they would have to pay for a license. And just to put some numbers also for who is helping, the sometimes the original music is coming because they cannot afford the license.
Mm.
And if everything goes well, actually the original music will be more connected to the final result than the original piece that they picked, because this is a bit what is this about. But so it it there is a frustrating part a bit, because the frustration is that you hear this reference and it sounds, of course, like fully polished and fully finished, and you have only a few hours to get to at least the same. And again, I cannot stress it enough, like enough, the same production ear candy quality, because you cannot talk music with somebody that doesn't understand music, but they can feel if it sounds good or not. So the feeling, it's very important. And so there is this frustrating part, and my trick is to try to really listen to the reference only a couple of times, not more, and then you put it away, because there are advantages. You need to be really focused and to get from the reference, not the instrumentation, or not the sometimes the tempo, yes, but you have to be super focused on, and to be like an antenna for the mood. So what is actually this piece of music creating together with images? So what do they want about that? And then I try to not listen to the reference anymore. So that's gone. And at that point, you are free to go with what you have to achieve on an emotional level. So not on on a technical level. The technical level can actually come back later, when if the client is pushing to go closer and closer to the reference. And then with this kind of huge campaigns, sometimes there is a musicologist that is coming in, and then it's becoming really mathematics, like, okay, you're doing this here and the reference is doing his here. It's like, how close can we get? Because of course the problem is like the tempo.
Wow.
So the client, the final client, heard this for 2 months, and they're very happy, and suddenly they're receiving something that is different but similar, and they have a hard time to say why we cannot use that. Well, it's like, yeah, because you have to add 2 more zero to get the other piece, probably.
Yeah.
And also you have to convince them, and this is part of the music agency, that we are working on a bespoke stuff, so it's gonna be super tailored to what they want, you know. And so I would say, to keep it creative, just don't listen to the reference more than a couple of times, but make sure that you understand what the reference is doing.
Which sounds really easy, but this is Debussy. Everybody knows Clair de la Lune,
Yeah,
right?
yeah. But
Yeah.
but when you do an arrangement, it's like, okay, those are the notes.
Yeah.
Those are the top line, let's say, the melody, and then I have to, I just have to dress it up in a way that it will match the mood that we are looking for. So
Yeah, and that really happened. It's an amazing feel. Even with your eyes closed, you still have the feeling of all these important moments they actually show in the commercial, in the advertisement, with people being together, enjoying those the little kinds, which make life really, really extra nice. If you look at the commercial, can you maybe explain why you think this is like the right song chosen to the story of what Heineken wanted to do with this campaign?
that's a tough question, because I'm arriving probably after this.
They already chose it.
That's a music agency, and I know that they are they're trying different things, and probably the client itself, like the final client, like the client of Heineken, because so the creative
agency who's
probably
making
they already put some ideas, or not, or maybe they ask directly Caesar to give them a few options, but I'm pretty sure that all those options were going toward the same direction, and that was, what kind of mood do we have to create for this?
The music supervisor, in your case, you work with Caesar.
Mm-hmm.
Can you elaborate a bit on as a composer, how is the way of working together? How do you optimize that structure to work together on with the same approach or the same goal? How does it work?
Yeah, it's you have to accept some rules of the game, and also for who is listening, I think it might be important to understand that we are like most of the feedback coming from, for example, from the client is coming on Friday afternoon, and
Yeah.
they are gonna be back in the office on Monday morning. No,
I
that's
know
yeah,
how that works. I worked on the client
yeah,
side. Yeah.
and
Yeah.
it's fine. You know, it's
Yeah.
like you don't have to complain.
No.
It's like you just accept that this is it, and this is part of what you do. So you just want to help them out. This means that it gives you also the chance to be like off on Wednesday or whatever. You just pick another day, and also it's not uncommon for me to receive messages really late in the evening. It's like, okay, we really need this tweak for tomorrow. And again, it's don't fight it, just embrace it. And yeah, you want to help in on a team, of course. And sometimes when I feel, but talking with the music producer, like for example in this case Mace, or the music supervisor Richard, and the music supervisor, by the way, is the link between music supervisor is basically the one not talking in musical terms with the creative agency, and the music producer is the one that is talking with the composer in like more in a more practical ways, like okay, he's translating what they want. And because eventually we're trying to do mind reading, like what they really want, you know. And um, but sometimes as a composer, I feel, when I feel like we are following too much the requests and we are hurting the music, then I have a choice. And usually it's like, okay, either A, I start with a branching idea, and this is something that I was doing more in the past, but it's a bit more dangerous for me. So basically it's like this. They say like, okay, we would like to do this, and you feel that it's not gonna work, but still you show them that this is not gonna work. So you just do it because they ask for it. So of course you are part of your job is to give them what they want, but then you might suggest at the same time something else. So then you start branching, because they might say like, okay, let's keep going with this two direction, and then the revisions madness starts with both direction at the same time. So it's like, huh, okay. Or you try to, with your music supervisor and music producer, to find like a way that we can solve this together, and to see where to go. Because the one thing that I see that is frequent in advertisement is like that they cut the video based on whatever metrics they have to probably try to optimize here and there, and they forget that there is a music is based on a pulse.
Yeah. Yeah.
So there is a rhythm,
Yeah.
and so if they are starting doing like crazy cuts, it's like we have to find a way to follow them, and then it is very difficult to keep the musicality sometimes.
Yeah.
And so this is also part of our game. So sometimes we have to really tell them, it's like no, you have to cut it in a different way, because we cannot really, this is not gonna work.
Wow.
And
It's really
yeah,
like working together, and keep in touch with
it
the
is working
clients'
together.
things,
Yeah,
but also stand for the things you think as a composer and
yeah.
arranger. To
I
it's
mean,
really
you have
beautiful.
to you have to
Yeah.
be you have to protect sometimes. I mean, what you do also, because you don't want, and of course the final result, because this is big clients, big agencies, always going to be good. So there is no doubt about this. But the process can be tough sometimes. So in a few commercial, I just said like, okay, this is my line, so I'm not gonna go forward with this. This is not gonna work. And then they discuss it, and I think it's also good. Or maybe the music supervisor jumped in and recut my music just to prove them that it was the request was like bonkers, but yeah.
Yeah, amazing. Looking back on this project, what are you most proud of?
Well, I really like the outcome, so how it came out, and I think this was a challenging one, because again, it's a super famous piece. So if you mess it up, it's not nice. It's not nice. It's not respectful to Debussy. It's not respectful for who is listening. So, and I think I'm glad that we, yeah, together with the team, we found a way to do something that it sounds timeless, but also like a fresh take, let's say. So it's a original take on Debussy, and on a piece that has been made only for piano, and this is a full orchestra arrangement. Yeah.
I could talk for hours with you.
Yeah, sorry, I'm talking too much.
No, I love it. Thank you so much, because I'm allergic to beer, and even I
okay.
like this advertisement. It really got straight into my heart.
Yeah.
So thank you so much, and congratulations again with your MIMA.
Yeah, thank you, Amber. Thank you
so much, Federico. Ja, dankjewel dus Federico. En zijn werk vind je in de show notes. Daar lees je ook meer informatie over de Music and Media Awards. En volg deze podcast voor de andere verhalen van de componisten waarmee wij praten over hun werk.